Hello friendos and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different because the food and the travel is limited. I signed up for a CSA, a community supported agriculture box from a local farm, and we're going to do a CSA farmers market haul. I know that this might not be your shtick, and if it's not, I'm sorry, I'll see you in another video. Thank you for hanging out. But I thought it might be cool because I don't know what's coming in these boxes to show you what they are, what's coming in them, and then show you what I make with them so that way you can get your own ideas as well. Today we got our first box and it looks like this in the bag. I took a quick video. Here it is. But I put it all away in the fridge. This is what it looks like in my fridge. So it is wild. These are things I had bought already, but 2/3 of my vegetable drawer are full of veggies. So I'm so stoked to figure out how to use all of these. Okie dokie. So what we got? So we got some lettuce spring mix. It's in its own little bag. And obviously I'll make a salad with that. I also signed up for the mushroom option, so I got some oyster mushrooms. Very excited about those. Probably saute them or put them in a soup. These are called garlic scapes. I have never heard of this before, but it's apparently what garlic does before it blooms. Or before it bulbs rather, and you can eat the whole thing and anything that calls for like green onion or make a pesto out of it apparently. So we want to try that because I haven't had pasta in forever. We got some radishes, a whole thing of kale, which looks a little bit different than the kale I buy in the grocery store, so excited to try that variety. Green onions, obviously, so yum. That's one thing I do buy all the time though, so I have extra, but I can deal with it. These are called salad turnips, these guys. I love turnips, especially like pickled or put into ramen, because I am that person. I might also eat them like you do parsnips, where you make a mash. Never tried that before. The last thing we got is green garlic, which is this giant thing. So it starts here. Here's all the garlic pieces that are not quite garlic yet, but so it's green, right? And then it comes all the way around here. And apparently you can eat all of it, so we're gonna have to figure out how to do that. Anyway, that is all the vegetables, and I'll check in with you guys as I start cooking them. So, very excited. I get one every 2 weeks. So if you end up liking this video, maybe we'll do more. I don't know. See ya when we cook. Bye. Hey, good morning. It's Sunday, one day after the farmer's market, and I promised I would show you everything I did with the vegetables that I got in the CSA. So, the first thing we're doing is making an omelet with some of the green garlic and the green onions and part of the mushroom. Yeah, I also threw in some of the frozen mixed vegetables I had left over as well, so it's a very full pan, but this is how I use, whoa, so close. This is how I do my omelets, so that way they're super filling. Okay, so here's the whole pan, and so I'm just reheating the peas, the carrots, the green beans, and the corn, but then I've also got your mushroom and the onions and the garlic in there as well. Should make it a really fragrant omelet. Bad news, the omelet situation crumbled. There were too many vegetables in it. That's okay, because now while this finishes setting, I'm gonna turn on the heat, sprinkle on this really cool cheese we got at the farmer's market as well. It's garlic and herb. So excited about that. And then it'll be all melty and delicious. And this is what the final dish looks like. Obviously I add sriracha to everything. I'm excited to not eat frozen vegetables, so that's exciting. Say fam, with some of the kale and one of the radishes, I made myself a little breakfast salad. So the lettuce, the kale leaves look a little sad, but that's because I massaged them for tenderness. I'm using a poppy seed dressing, which is a little too sweet for my taste, but hoping it counteracts some of the spiciness of the radish. Breakfast salad might seem weird to you, but sometimes I like to do it because it's just a good way to get in those vitamins, you know? But yeah, so kale salad this morning. I'm gonna pickle the radishes and the turnips tomorrow. Excited. Yes, I made another salad. But this time I used the spring mix and I put some kale in there. And I also topped it with the green onions and the green garlic. So it'll be a fun boy. Salads are easy and springy. So I want to eat a lot of them. But I promise I'm going to make cool stuff soon. I promised we would do something interesting. So we're gonna make kale chips. Wash, pat dry, the kale. And we're gonna cut them off of the stem. And then I keep all my scraps and I put them in a veggie bag for veggie stock, which we'll probably make at the end of the week. You know, don't waste anything. Anyway, yeah, cut and chop. Once you get all your kale chopped, you'll want pieces, well, that one looks weird. You'll want pieces like this-ish size. You're gonna put them in a bowl. Don't skip this step. I used to skip this step because it would make another dish and I didn't like having extra dishes. But you're gonna drizzle some oil of your choice. This is peanut oil because it is what I have over it, just slightly. And then some seasoning. So I'm using some fun salt that we got in Sapporo in the tower, in the TV tower. It was wild. This is actually salad salt. It says sarada. I don't know what it tastes like. But anyway, oil, salt, put it on a pan. Okay, wash your hands and then come back and show everyone that you spread your kale over on a thin layer on your plate. It's gonna look real scary, it's gonna wilt, but then it's gonna crisp up, I promise. I'm starting at 5 minutes at 450 and then I'm just gonna keep checking on it until you see some slight browning. Update, 5 minutes was way too long. Definitely start checking it like 2.5 minutes to 3 minutes. So this was 4 minutes. You can see that there's some crisping and the leaves are no longer floppy. Well, this one is. Don't look at it. The leaves are no longer floppy. They're little kale chips. For someone that has an obsession with salty, crunchy things, these are a wonderful substitute for the entire bag of a potato chip. And it's just wonderful. Like, listen. One really fun thing I've been doing is using mushrooms instead of tofu in my miso soup. So those oyster mushrooms are coming in handy. They're very, very good. I like soak up all that flavor, it's incredible. So I really love pickles, and with the radishes and the turnips I got, I'm gonna go ahead and pickle them. And this is how you do it, it's super easy. You're gonna cut quarter and then add to rice vinegar. Some people add salt and sugar. I don't, I prefer a more vinegary taste. I do like spice though, so I've added red pepper flakes. And then you just put them in there and you soak them. And then you drain them, and I like to add chili oil afterwards. So, yay, easy pickling recipe. These will be really good side dishes or snacks later. I am pickling the radishes separately from the turnips because these will turn the vinegar pink, and I would like a color differentiation for presentation purposes. But yeah, just this is about 3/4 cup of vinegar. Just add these bad boys. And then I rotate them about twice a day when I wake up and when I go to bed. So that way the tops and the bottom are getting evenly coated. And it's pickle time! As you can see, the radishes turn this guy like the color of strawberries. It's kind of wild to think about, but it is an effective dye, right? And obviously the turnips, so let's give them a try. I have always loved regular pickles, and by regular pickles I mean American dill pickles with cucumbers. But I learned to fall in love with other pickled dishes at a Japanese izakaya, and these are so good. These are amazing. They're sour and they're tart. Let's try a radish. It's very pink still. Pickled radishes is where it's at. Delicious. Do you want to make a pasta sauce that's dairy-free but doesn't require hours of stewing? I have a solution for you, it's pesto. And with the CSA box, we're gonna use those garlic scapes to do just that. The recipe is very simple and requires no cooking besides warming up on the stove to put into your pasta. You're gonna need scapes. I cut them into 1-inch pieces because I got a food processor and it's awesome. Don't mind this tape thing that happens sometimes. Either walnuts or pine nuts, salt, pepper, lemon juice, nutritional yeast if you're keeping it dairy-free, Parmesan if you are not, and some, it calls for olive oil, but I just made this garlic infused oil, so you know what I'm gonna be using. And then, you know, pasta, eat that. And then just blend it. First, everything but this, and then this. That's it. I've got it on a scale, so I can measure the ingredients like an adult. This is what the pesto will look like after blending. If you have a better food processor, it might be a little more smooth. And here's a serving suggestion. It's pesto, caramelized onion, shrimp, little pasta, nice and dairy-free. Very flavorful. Hello friends, it is Sunday, May 24th, I think. So it's been about 8 days since we got our veggie CSA pickup, and honestly I thought it was gonna take me a lot longer to eat all of these things. I had like all these plans to like pickle and prep and freeze so that way we could save it, but it turns out to be just the right amount of food for a week, or vegetables rather, and I am glad. I'm thinking I might upgrade my CSA subscription if they'll let me. We'll see if that happens, but I'm very excited to share with you the last thing that we're gonna make today, which is a roasted green garlic soup. We're gonna use the rest of the mushrooms, we're gonna use the rest of the green garlic, and we're gonna use the rest of the leeks, and we'll wrap it up. I'm excited. I'm very hungry, and this is gonna take like 30 minutes, so it's time to get good. All right, here's everything you're going to need. Some potatoes, the mushrooms, your green garlic boys, onion of course, and more onion. It's gonna be a pretty garlicky, oniony soup. So if that's not your thing, don't make this recipe. You're gonna wanna give everything a good chop. So, you know, just like, there we go. Everything's chopped. And then you just add some oil to a pan. I'm gonna saute these buddies for a hot minute. Once I start developing some browning, we will add broth, basically, and cook for 20-25 minutes and then blend it, and it's that simple. That's it. That's a soup, and you're done. This is what the cross-section of the garlic looks like. You can see the little bulbs that were starting to form. The green garlic. Pretty. So here's everything in the pot. I might have overdone it, but, you know, it's fine. Okay, you can see that the onions are becoming a little bit more translucent. Things are starting to brown. It looks really sweaty in there. That's why you call it sweating your onions. So it's time to add some water, some broth, some seasonings, and let it boil. Since I didn't know what this soup was gonna taste like, I refrained from seasoning right now. We did just the broth. I'm using a veggie bouillon because I'm out of veggie broth. So yeah, once we get a good flavor profile, I will season accordingly. But you know, you can never go wrong with pepper. So we are all the way done. Everything is fork tender and all the flavors are together. So this is kind of what it looks like before you blend it. The cool thing about this is because it's dairy free, you are using the potatoes to make it creamy. So using my food processor, sorry for that. Obviously vent it or do it in small batches to prevent your blender or food processor from exploding. And this is the finalized product. It's delicious so far. And this is the final product. If you have a dairy product in it, it's gonna be a lot creamier looking. This has a green tinge, but that just means it's healthy. You know. Hey everyone, I forgot to film an outro for this video, so please enjoy this obnoxious footage of me posing for a thumbnail. No, look at the camera. Look at, there you go. Thank you. Thank you for looking at the camera. Anyway, I hope you liked this video and got some good ideas for your CSA box. If you liked this video, give it a like, and you can subscribe if you want to, and leave a comment to tell me what you like to do with your vegetables. Bye-bye!